Hi, thank you all for coming out, and thank you to Peg and everybody at Why There Are Words for the invitation up here. It's really nice to be here this evening. I'm gonna try to fix this. There we go. Now I'm not bending over. So I've done a lot of events around the Bay Area, but I've never done anything up here in Marin. So I'm very honored to be here at Sausalito, debuting, if you want to call it that. And yeah, the book that I'm going to read to you from tonight is called The Doubles, and it's a book about film. It came out in the fall of last year, and I was very honored that people said some nice things about it. There was some praise for it in the Chronicle. The magazine, The Brooklyn Rail, called it a Book of the Year. The website Volume 1 Brooklyn also called it Book of the Year. And I will always be indebted to one reviewer who chose to call this book an erotics of cinema, which I absolutely love. So art is very important to me. Art is really one of the central things in my life. And I don't like to believe that art is something that we go and see in a museum and that's the end of it. Or we read a book and the book's done and we forget about it. I like to think that art lives in us and is a part of us all throughout our lives. And a lot of the writing that I do involves how that happens and how that's happened in my own life. And The Doubles is a book about 14 films that have occupied that role in my life. It covers 20 years of my life from 1996 to 2016. And in the process of this book, I retell 14 of those films, giving you the story of the movie and also explaining where I was and what happened to me as I was seeing it. So you kind of get a composite memoir while you're getting these movies. And I'm a big believer in Mark Twain's wisdom. You should always leave the audience wanting more. So I'm not going to read that long. I hope you enjoy what you get here and you'll want to buy the book. Oh, and I should add, this essay is about the movie Exit Through the Gift Shop by the graffiti artist Banksy. It was released in 2010 and I saw it in 2014. And this is how the essay starts. I will always be envious of artists because they can create with their entire body. Words do not work like this. It doesn't matter whether I'm standing on my head as I type this sentence or sitting here on my ass. It all looks the same to you as you read it. But look at the kinetics on the first 2.5 minutes of this movie. People painting with gouging torches, streaming down subway tunnels, perched high atop skyscrapers, standing out the windows of moving cars, shooting paint out of hoses. I crave this. Art plus gymnastics, art plus Muay Thai, art plus 0 to 60. Art made on the level of muscle memory. The last image in this opening montage, almost something out of The Matrix. In a white t-shirt, he skids away from the cops, and he runs right up the side of a building. The plump law can't even make so much as an honest effort at pulling itself up in pursuit. This is what Michael Jordan's 1988 free throw line slam dunk would look like if it could have made an imprint on a wall. Some days when I've ran beneath the bright blazing spring sun, legs aflame, the hill at last climbed, and below me the entire city, the blue waters of the ocean, I feel this ecstasy. I wish there were a way I could write with that vigor. Can there be any doubt that street art is a full-body experience? It is done in the wee hours, when the city's empty streets are a playground. Even as the hand sprays, the five senses are always on high alert. Perched atop a ledge, it would be nothing to fall down and die, or find a subway car screaming through the tunnel, or be chest down in gravel beneath a tractor trailer as a police helicopter pulses overhead. After that brassy overture, who appears on the screen? Or rather, who does not appear? Body and face obscured beneath baggy jeans and an enormous hoodie casting deep shadows, voice encoded, sitting next to an ironic monkey's face. He says, "The film is the story of what happened when this guy tried to make a documentary about me. But he was actually a lot more interesting than I am. All of Banksy's bodily expressions are concentrated into his two hands. They're the only parts of him given any definition whatsoever. This street artist par excellence embodies the gestural minimalism of an oracle. Mystery is Banksy's first asset. He has invested his career in its perfection. He is a hugely famous artist, even though very few people know his name. A man who spent years dodging the police as he built his reputation in graffiti, only to see the entire movement catch on to glowing incandescence, his whole art and life legitimized by the beneficent nod of the market that has made him a millionaire. The screen flips to this other man, Terry Guerra, everything that Banksy is not. A buffoon, a babbler, a self-aggrandizer, always in pursuit of the spotlight. He does not obscure his face beneath a gigantic hood. He wears a mustache that connects his two ludicrous mutton chops. He fidgets endlessly. Everything about this man begs you to look at him and remember him. What Terry does is film, the way you or I peer with our eyeballs. Terry films with his camera. Who is this movie really about? Is it about Banksy or Terry? And what is the truth of either of these men? Just a few minutes in, and already there is something undeniably artificial about each. This Banksy, his hoodie so compellingly distressed, the warehouse-like studio behind him, perfectly arranged in its disorder. And this Terry, so aptly, absolutely naive in his jackassery. As Banksy puts it, I guess Terry was in the right place at the right time, really. We all needed someone who knew how to use a camera. Very soon, these opposites are to meet and become collaborators. Thank you all so much.